Hello, hello. Welcome to Confidence Through Cabaret, the podcast and vodcast and all things confidence. I'm Heather Jean, and I am joined today by Gundega Szabo, and I want to make it really fancy with all kinds of extra sounds in the word, but it's wrong. Hello, Gundega. I'm so happy to see you.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting and for having me here. And you actually pronounced it so amazingly.
Thank you. And names are so important. Like names are, and we'll get into names a little bit later on, but names, like how we call ourselves and what we relate to, is so important. And I think sometimes we underestimate those things.
Absolutely. My name actually means buttercup, if you translate into
Oh,
English. I would wish to be a rose, or not maybe buttercup, yes, but that's what it means, buttercup.
I think buttercup is beautiful. I really do. I really do. It's bright and sunny and it's everywhere and it's really, really beautiful. So
Yeah,
I
thank you.
and I'm Heather, so we're flowers today.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I didn't know that Hazel is flower as well.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. Heather's all over Scotland. Heather flowers. They're a weed, really. Um,
Okay, welcome to the team.
they're everywhere. Walking through the fields, you'll see buttercups and heather.
Yeah.
Um, and in German, I learned when I've been to Germany and Switzerland, it's they call it the same flower. They call it Erica. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a whole thing. There's lots of flower names. So welcome to Becca, financial coach. We have so many things to cover today. We are talking about money mindset, but more than that, we're going to talk about, we're going to get into the masculine and feminine energies, and we're going to get into that kind of balance. And I think if we start with that word balance, it's interesting. I posted something in Confidence Through Cabaret on the Facebook community a little while ago about, how do you balance things? And I had a couple of people saying, well, it's just really, you do it or you don't. There's no such thing as balance. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because to me, balance is everything. Of course, there's such a thing as balance. It's not a myth, it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love to call it finding a harmony. Yes. So when I refer to balance, I always refer to finding your harmony. And every person has a different understanding and sense of feeling what is their harmony, especially in terms of finances as well. When we talk about masculine and feminine side, there has to be a harmony. Some people are naturally more masculine, they need more feminine, and other people are more feminine and they need more masculine side. So as a financial coach, this is one of my roles, what I'm trying to understand and to establish where they are at right now and what is missing from the perspective of money and abundant energy.
It's really interesting that, I think listeners will be aware of what abundant energy is, like what it means, like what those words mean. But I think in terms of thinking about masculine and feminine energy when it comes to money, a lot of us associate money as masculine energy. So
And this, yeah.
yeah, do it.
That's really interesting. Yes, because it's really interesting because money is masculine and feminine. Yes, so it's both sides because essentially money energy is all about having that masculine action. Taking inspired. Yes, I'm not referring here to hustle 24/7. Take a crazy action, don't stop, sales, but I refer here to inspired action when you actually do something to get things moved forwards. And this is financial strategy part. So this is masculine. When I talk about masculine, I usually refer to financial planning, budgeting, um, goal setting, yes. So action taking, yes. Establishing your performance sales performance indicators to know what works, what doesn't work for the business. It's like your CFO mindset. It's like, this is what masculine. Yes, you are analyzing numbers. You are rational. You are strategic and methodological. Yes, feminine side is the opposite. It's like more feelings around it. What do you feel about money? Yes, how do you feel about money? How do you feel about sales? How do you feel about your expenditure, the way you manage money? Yes, so it's all about feelings. And there is, in the middle, there is that money mindset, which will be partially masculine and partially feminine, because we need masculine to heal our feminine and feminine to heal our masculine. Yes, so I always say to all my clients, you can't access your money mindset unless you do inspired action, unless you check your numbers, unless you look at your numbers, and unless you allow those numbers actually take part of your life. If you ignore them and you think and you try to heal your money mindset, you are not accessing the deepest level of your money mindset. It's just at the surface. It's like you're brushing just the hair, you're not really looking inside. Yes. So that's why this all is very important. Both sides, they heal. You heal one side through the other side. Yeah.
So where do you start? Do you start with one side and then go to the other? Does it matter which side you start on?
So the main starts somewhere, right? So you start somewhere, but ideally you want to be doing feminine and masculine at the same time. Yes. So you start looking at your numbers, you open your bank account and you ask yourself, how do you feel about this? So here you go. You open the bank account already. You are looking at your numbers. You start to looking with rational mind. Okay, here I am. I have in account 2,700 pounds. Yes. Or, yeah. And so how do you feel about it? So here you go. You have two sides straight away. Yeah. And then you understand, okay, well, I want to grow my business finances, for example, yes, or personal wealth. Okay, so where I'm standing right now, so how much expenses do I having now? How much income I'm having? Yes, so where I am right now, this is a masculine energy. So where you are analyzing your own finances, and same time it triggers your feminine. Oh God, I'm so poor at managing money. Oh God, this is disgusting. I can't stand my numbers. So here you go. It comes out, all the unhealed money things, what is coming. Yes, because ideally you want to be very excited about your finances, even if you have $5 in the account. It's amazing because those are $5. Yes, it's amazing. You have to be grateful. So when you approach your finances, I think feminine side is very easy to notice because you just need to ask yourself a question. Yes, how do you feel about money right now, right today? Yes, and you already know roughly where are you at with your money energy. Yes, because if you feel like you are excited, happy, and wow, I think I'm booming, then it's amazing. Yes, you are in a great state. But if you already have some niches in the head, so like not well at attracting sales this month, so this is already showing that there is something off with the balance. Yes, money mindset, money limiting beliefs, blockages. Yes, and so they are where you start. I usually start with the clients with the masculine because I know that it will trigger feminine. So I know that I will straight away see it. Yes, I tried few approaches when I started coaching. I'm coaching now. This is second year for me. I tried in the beginning. I tried with the feminine side. I tried asking my clients, "How do you feel about money? Yes, where do you think is your money mindset?" But as soon as I implemented the side of masculine, a lot of beliefs came out like, whew, like absolutely different, absolutely new. Well, I didn't really know that I feel that I'm really bad at managing money. Yes. So because if you don't manage, you don't know, right? So, and then it's so that's why, yeah, I personally start with masculine first, and then I can see what's coming out, and we work on what's coming out. Yes.
That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting because as you're talking, I'm like, ooh, there are some situations I avoid that. How do you feel? Because I don't want to feel that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
Triggers
and I
coming out.
know that the better question is, how do I want to feel? And making
Mm-hmm.
that comparison and that gap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see that. But then there's all kinds of blocks coming up now in my, I'm just following that you're thinking through. Then there's all kinds of thoughts of, well, I want to feel like this, but I either don't know how to do that, or I do know how to do that, but I'm afraid to do that. Or a little bit of both, maybe, because now my imposter syndrome shows up in terms of I don't like to ask for or accept help when it's offered. That's my go-to. So I'm much better at asking for and accepting help because I've had to be. But I think for a lot of us, it's kind of like, oh, well, I would need help to do that. And that's a belief. And so there's all kinds of blocks I can see that either I've been through or would go through in that thought process. I've had a business for 26 years this year, and I never had any money blocks. I just assumed work would come in. I assumed that I would be well paid. I named my price. I was paid in the corporate world, not in the business to consumer environment. And it never occurred to me. It just always would come in. I didn't market. I didn't go on LinkedIn. I didn't do all the, all of the promotion stuff. It was all through networking. When that stopped in 2020, and then, people couldn't run conferences and all the things that I did, I couldn't travel. Then that was when I had to face those feminine things of, okay, I have to promote. I have to actually do things. I actually have to sell things. I have to make an offering. I'd never had to make an offering because clients came to me and said, can you do this? And I said, yes. I wrote a proposal and that was it, and then it happened and I was paid. But so all of those kind of things of putting yourself out there were blocks I was really unaware of. And now, if I'm honest, they're things that I would avoid because I like to ignore them. And you can't unsee the blocks once they're there.
Yes.
So it's really interesting because I think a lot of people in what's now being called the Great Resignation, where people are going into their own businesses and running online things, this is the perfect time to be addressing this, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how do you know, because you're a financial coach, Gundega, so how does one know that they need a financial coach?
First of all, I just want to mention quickly that money avoidance, for example, how it's expressed in our online space is that, I don't want to look at my numbers until end of the tax year. Or, I'm thinking about sales, I'm doing sales, but everything else doesn't really matter until end of the tax year, yes? So this is money avoidance. This is we avoid. And this is, I don't like to say this word, but technically it is money disorder. So it is problematic money disorder. There is a term, and this is coming from some trauma already in the past or in the past life. So there is something already if you are avoiding. Yeah. So I'm speaking of it because I had it myself for many, many years. I was avoiding until... and when you have this money avoidance, you might notice that traction is not coming. So you are generating sales. You are doing great. You can feel great. But you are like a thief. So everything is going out. So it's like going in and going out. So there is no traction. So this is money avoidance, which is very common. And I can see a lot in online space, because of my clients as well. I can see that, yes, it's happening. And I know for myself, it's happening with me as well. So, and answering the question about how do they know? Well, if you ask yourself honestly, so if you just ask yourself a question, are you happy? Where are you right now financially? Are you ready for, so where are you right now financially? Yes. Are you where you want to be? because your current financial reality is reflecting your money mindset, your money strategy, and your money energy. Yes. So where are you right now? It shows exactly what's happening within you and exactly what kind of strategies you are using. Yes. So if you are feeling happy, blooming, you are doing your savings, you feel amazing about your, for example, retirement, and so all those things. Yes. Then you don't probably need financial coach. You are doing really well. Yes. However, if you feel that business profits are not growing, so you don't really establish the wealth you wanted in first place, you don't take enough money home, and you can't really do those savings, you feel insecure about your future, about you can't really afford those travels what you want, you don't have plan for retirements, like you, it's like kind of you feel good now, but you know it's illusion. You know that if you think advance, if you know 10 years ahead, you could, oh, it's not anymore so nice place. And it's already like, oh, yeah, so it doesn't really feel that good. So that's when you need financial coach, because you need somebody to help you, to lead you, to help you to plan, to help you to establish, to see where you are at right now, what your money mindset, energetic, and in strategy place. Yes, so that you know where are you heading, and you are accountable to somebody actually to implement those your goals. Yes, so that you understand why you actually need it, because the reason very often why we are not where we want to be financially, because we don't really know why we want to be there. We don't really think about these things on daily basis. It's so much going on in our lives.
Yeah, why is a huge, huge
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it a lot from clients and people in the Confidence Through Cabaret community on Facebook, where they'll say, like, I've had a really successful month, whatever that is, 5K, 10K, whatever their goal is. And then there's that kind of, I don't know if I can do this again. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then there's that fear of it's not going to repeat. And then the danger is that they become focused on doing that again instead of actually doing their work. Because for me, certainly, it is about money as an energy. It is about you need and deserve to be paid for what you're doing and what you're worth and the value that you're adding. But if your business is, let's say, about really passionately helping people, it's really easy to get super into that and into the friend zone of, I'm helping everybody and I feel good about helping everybody, but I'm not getting paid for that. I've been there. I've absolutely been there, but I never was in my corporate business. Never. I would never have gone and run a conference just
Just
because
like that. Yes, just like
business, because I saw it as, I guess, different, that's a major corporation, that's a huge brand, of course they're
Mhm.
going to pay me, they can afford to pay me, and it's a write-off and all kinds of other
Mhm.
things. So I think that's where, at least for coming from the corporate world, that's where there's a big shift that can come in when you go to the online world.
Absolutely. When you go to online world from corporate job, it's like different world. It's like a different animal, really. It's like there is so many beliefs what you need to very quickly address actually to get yourself through to develop a business online. Yes. So, and what I can tell about this part right there is that um, see, when you think about money energetics and money energy, one law of one energy is to have clear boundaries of you with who you work, how much you charge, and so you set very clear boundaries. For example, you are saying to yourself, okay, so I'm serving clients. I get my, for example, free clients. I showed my, for example, if somebody who would start now, yes, got my free clients, established my testimonials, I know them bringing so much value, yes. And now I'm at the point when I'm deciding, I'm making decision intentionally that from now on, no, I'm charging. There is no friend zone anymore. Yes. So, and what will happen? You will notice that energy will start shifting around you because of this strong intention, and universe will send you some dearest friend your way just to check it out, will you charge or not? Yes. So, and this will be your test. If you stick to your intention saying no, I'm sorry, my focus is right now somewhere else. I can't do it anymore for free. I'm sorry. Universe will say, all right, great job. Okay, I will give you a client. Yes. So basically what happens that is you need to set intention and you need to stick to it. Yes, this is a boundary law in money energy. Set intention, and you can set intention for everything. How much income you want to make, how much, and for example, I want to make 5,000 every single month, but you got to do also the action part. Yes, so you keep in your mind, okay, I want 5,000 every single month, but of course it takes me specific events what I need to do in order to generate those. So assuming you are established business and you know what works for your business, you know what activities you need to generate those sales. Yes, because recently I had a client who actually had the same situation. She made 10,000 income somewhere in September, and then there were quite dry months, and she lost attraction. She lost belief in herself. Yes, and what we needed to do to shift back and put masculine inside. All right, let's think logically. What happened there? How did you gain those 10,000? What did you do? Yes. Let's go back. Let's look at the strategies. What were used? Are you still happy with those strategies? Yes. Do you want to try again? Yes. Like to reset the mind. And all those beliefs, what is coming, they are not real. They are just sabotaging you. They are just coming from your space, say, like to kind of safe, to make you feel safe. Yes. It's like unreal. That noise, you need to cut it out. Yes. And just focus on what you did in the past, what worked, and what you can do now. And it was unbelievable that in 2 weeks she was back on the track, because it's just that's how it is. You need to be very methodological and rational when you go to finances, and being able to cut off that noise. Okay, when something is not working or something, yes, I'm failing. You're not failing. You just need strategy. You just need to be very rational with the finances.
So how do you get rid of the beliefs though? Because if you're believing that like I had traction and now I don't, and with your client that kind of lost that, she's got actual evidence that it can work, and she's got actual evidence that it can be taken away. So how do you overcome that belief in your head?
So the one thing what happened, for example, in that specific story was that client, she was not anymore taking. If to be honest, like I was asking, be honest with me. What did you do the following months? And she let it down. She didn't really made any masculine moves anymore. Yes. So in that particular scenario, yes, she was more relaxed. I made 10K, amazing, and I will give myself some break. Yes. And this is what happens in online space. If you give yourself some break, it will be the domino effect. Everything is happening. Everyone is giving break to you. Yes. Because you are not showing anymore in that power from the state of energy. Yes. And will be affected. Your income will not be regular anymore. So you got to have that space all the time. You are serving, coming, showing yourself online. You are all the time there. Yes. So you are doing service regardless if you have 10,000 months, 20,000 months, 5,000 months, but you are there all the time. Yeah. So don't hide yourself after you did this Chiro win. Yes. So it's great. Yes. So, but when you talk about really mindset, so when I work with my clients, I usually try to understand from where it's coming, what is the root cause. Because when it comes to money mindset, a lot of beliefs, what we are carrying with ourselves. For example, in this scenario, let's think about this scenario. You made 10,000 months and then you can't anymore make those 10,000 months. Yes. So you are losing belief. It means that there is already self-love, self-confidence, imposter syndrome inside. So meaning that this is not entirely even financial related. This is overall your belief for yourself. So then we are trying to understand, okay, from where it's coming. Is it coming from, do you remember event? Was something happened in your life when you lost this confidence? And usually it comes from not now, it comes from previous years, from lost relationships. It can come from traumas, it can come from childhood, how people treat. And if I can't identify anything at all, I had these situations sometimes, then I use my skills and I access past lives. So I'm going beyond. I'm going in the past lives. I'm going into Like sometimes it's ancestry wounds, sometimes it's something different, yes. When there is really no trace, when you can't really understand, yes, but it has to be really deep, yes. It doesn't happen often. It's most often it happens that we can trace it back, yes. But if we can't, then there can be a huge chance that we are carrying in our energetic systems information from the past lives, from ancestral healings, ancestry wounds. So we carry this information to this life. We are born already with some disruption, which can be triggered. Interestingly, at the same time frame when we experience something in the past life, for example, same age. If you are someone, not sure if you believe in past lives at all, yes, yeah. So, for example, if I had a past life and at I don't know 33 years old, I totally lost my confidence in past life because, for example, my husband left me very badly, yes. Then in this life at 33 years old, it very often might happen that it comes back the same trigger. And this situation can actually be a trigger for you to understand that you need to heal something there, yes. So, and this is how it's connected. It can be connected, yes. So yeah, and once I identify what's the situation, usually it doesn't matter if it is this life or past life. I use Reiki to help people to reframe, to affirm, to change the mindset. To, for example, if you are suffering that you are not confident in yourself, yes, then you have this imposter syndrome. Yes, you don't believe in yourself. Then first of all, we reframe this in mind that I believe in myself. Yes. We reframe the thought itself. Yes, we acknowledge that it is connected with something that's not real anymore. It's not anymore real to this current situation. Yes, we detach situations. Yes, for example, money mindset is not because I can't make it, it's just because I believe due to that event that I can't make it. Yeah. And once we do it, I do Reiki healing, perform on the just to facilitate energetic shift. Yeah.
That's really interesting to combine that with talking about money, because a lot of people who are financial coaches come from a background of, I've worked in finance, or I studied finance, and I didn't like the pure masculine side of it, so I'm helping people shift their beliefs without having Reiki or hypnosis or other kind of tools in their belts. It's really amazing that you have that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in finances 15 years. That's my whole financial career. I have all financial qualifications. I'm accountant. I work with the personal finances, with the business finances in the bank, retail bank, investment bank, accounting, small businesses, big businesses. Yes. So I have this financial background, but along the journey, I recognized my mindset. Money healing. I'm coming from scarcity mindset as well. So the purest scarcity mindset was in me. I had so many limiting beliefs, limitations around me, around money. I was hating money, and there was so much going on. So that when I was in corporate world, I recognized that it's not just about literacy. Literacy is good. Literacy is amazing if you know the strategies. If you know how to manage money, it's great because that's a great place for you to develop your masculine side. Yes, because it helps. It shifts your finances. It grows your finances. Strategy helps you grow fast finances. Yes, when you know the ways how to grow. However, it's not about it. It's other coin, your energy, your mindset as well overall. Yes. So, and this is why after 13 years of my financial career, yes, it was actually 2 years ago, I I always was intuitive. I always was a healer myself. Yes, I always had these two sides of me. But this, when I did it official, when I was planning how I can help my clients actually to bring it to the surface, so they believe me. So as I needed to get these official qualifications in terms of master Reiki and all those things, so that I went through psychic development myself, everything I did, like, so to get certification, so as I can say today, okay, I can help you with this side as well. And in reality, probably nowadays, my work is 70% strategic part, still masculine, and 30% is healing and feminine part. Yes, because I work with solid people mainly, solid, intuitives, psychics, or somebody who is empaths, light workers, or just the people who are holistic. Yes, so kind of those that vibe. Yes, and those people are quite intuitive themselves. So and they need more masculine from me rather than feminine. Yes, so we still need it, but less. Yes, like for example, if I would work with somebody who is not holistic, like, or they're not intuitive, or they don't meditate, like those people, they probably would need more healing part than strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really very interesting. And I think I use at different times. I use the feminine. So for those listening that aren't familiar with masculine and feminine, masculine side energy, we all have both, and it's kind of an unfortunate term, really, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we go, yeah, but that's like male, female,
Yeah,
and
gender. Yeah, kind of.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's not
and
nothing to do.
I was talking with my son the other night, who is a Gen Z, who was saying, yeah, but it's a spectrum, and I was like, yeah, but we all have this masculine, feminine energy. I just wish it was called something different.
Yeah, right.
Masculine is about like doing, driving, results, competing, all of the things you're talking about with strategy and action. And that is where I was very successful, because I
Right. Yeah.
only tapped into that. And I would have said, in fact, I did say, I'm sure many times, that I was very feminine in it. I wore skirts and high heels. I did my nails. I wore makeup. I was very feminine in a very masculine world. And so I would have said, yeah, I'm really in touch with my feminine. That's not what
I love that. Yeah.
but I really didn't relate to it, because I thought that I was in touch with my feminine. But the feminine energy is about feelings and intuition and creativity, and it's very different. And you can see where in the corporate world, where the masculine and the drive and the results is so important. But if the feminine side about the feelings and the creativity is ignored, then all the good ideas that could have come are muted.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see why, you can see why a lot of businesses kind of stay away from that whole feelings, intuition stuff. But at the same time, it is very limiting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think when if I had my time again, I wouldn't have gone into the online world of business and found out about the feminine stuff. And the reason I say that is not because I'm underestimating its importance. It's because it is so important, but it's hard. Right? So
Yeah.
ignorance is bliss. With that, I was really happy with how things were not knowing. But of course, once you know, you can't unknow it, right? So it's very
There's no
hard.
way back.
There isn't a way back. And what you're talking about makes sense. Most people be like, yeah, okay, so I do meditate. This is where I was going to go to, was I do meditation, I do journaling, I do gratitude. I would have picked all those boxes. And I would have sat there and gone, yeah, Gundega, you know what? I'm doing this. I've got the feminine sorted. But it was not really engaging in it. I was going through it with all these things with masculine energy, right? I wrote my gratitude list at bedtime. Tick. Do you know, I
Yes.
tick. And I wasn't ever really allowing those things to come up until about 2 years ago. Well, actually, probably 3 years ago, 2019 was a huge turning point for me in my life, because my husband very suddenly passed away in the early part of the year. And then everything just kind of opened up like a volcano. And that was when I kind of went, oh, I'm not really doing this.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about your loss.
Thank you.
Honestly. And I'm glad that you mentioned this, because when I was referring meditation, I more was thinking about somebody who is really connecting to their inner self. Yes. Yeah, because I know that I was doing the same as you for many years, that I was when I was meditating, I was just breathing in, breathing out, and then I was just distracting my thoughts, and then I didn't really recognize myself at that point that what actually it is. This all building this feminine side. Yes, I didn't really realize the power. So how I can see people when I start working with somebody, how I can see if they have feminine side is very close to their authenticity. Yeah,
Authenticity.
exactly. Yes, because when person is tapping into their power and standing against the waves, yes, or when they are showing their authentic. Sorry about this
More
authentic.
authentic stuff.
This like I never had this problem with this word specific, yes, but today I have it, yes. So yeah, when I can see they stand out, and when I talk to them, and I have seeing that a different mindset coming through, not just like I'm standing there against the web just because my ego is very strong, yes, and I like, but more about from the space of comfort, yes. Like when I ask about their programs, for my work with a lot of coaches, so what is in your program? So what do you stand by? Yes, what is different? What is unique? What is and more I hear some unique things, more I hear some unique phrases coming out, I can understand. And if they are saying yes, they think that they have this, they are doing practices for embracing this feminine side, yes, and then they are connecting to their inner wisdom. They go for a walks in the forest and listen to the air and getting creative, yes, like, and I can see they are matching. But if there is opposite side, when I can see the program is just like very standard, like there is nothing, very masculine. Well, this is very masculine program, like just a copy paste from somewhere, yes, and like nothing is very unique, like there is no cherry top of the cake, yes, very standardized. There is no value strong. I know that person still needs to develop this feminine side to understand more, because in coaching, not just in coaching world, but in online space, if you can stand out with being different, then also your finances will grow. So I think feminine, from the feminine perspective, you can, if you can embrace this feminine in a very healthy way and to stand in your power, showing who you are as a business owner, as a values, as a service, to show that you are different, to show that you are authentic. Now that's my yes. Yes,
Authentic.
authentic, yes, to show that you have your vision and you are not afraid to stand for it. Even if nobody talks about it, you talk about it because you believe in it, yes, because you have your experience, yes, even if it goes against some like overall laws about a lot of things, yes, and you are standing in that power. And that's how I know that person is tapping in the feminine. That's how I see it, yes, from my side.
That's really interesting. Standing in your power. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think I think that authentically standing in your power
Mm-hmm.
is so important.
Yeah.
And I actually I really appreciate, Gundega, that you are struggling with that word today, because we all have those days. We have those days when technology doesn't work, or we make a mistake, or we forget what we were going to talk about and we're live, or whatever's going on, we can't remember the word, or I tend to make up words, which is terrible because they make sense for me and nobody else. And I talk a huge amount about, in terms of confidence, being perfectly imperfect,
Mm-hmm.
because with imposter syndrome there's a lot of perfectionism can show up.
I
um,
love that.
and so that perfectly imperfect, it's like nothing bad happens when it doesn't go perfect. It doesn't take away from your authenticity, it doesn't take away from your ability, it doesn't take away from what you're offering. In fact, it makes us more relatable because we're human.
I love that.
And then other people go, oh, okay, so I don't have to be perfect to show up.
Mhm.
And I used to believe in the corporate world when I first started my business, everything was flawless. Everything worked. I was there hours before making sure it did. And then so many times technology let me down and all kinds of things happened. And, and you kind of have to learn to roll with the punches if you're going to be successful in the business. And whatever that is, whether that's something about your body that you're kind of trying to hide because you're self-conscious of, or whether that's something, about thinking that you're an imposter and they're going to find out, or whether that's, any kind of condition that you have physically or mentally, you still can shine through if you're showing up authentically. But what I think is interesting is that you're talking about there's a lot of people who are showing up authentically, and they're not generating business. And then there's others who are generating business, but it's all about the money, right? It's these people who are offering like 10K month, a guarantee 10K months. Like, what are you doing though? What is this really genuinely about, coming from the heart and the feminine energy? So I love that you're showing us in live time that balance, and it's fine, and it doesn't take away anything.
Thank you so much, Lily.
I so appreciate it. I have one more question around money mindset, and then I want to ask you a couple of other questions before we wrap up. Fear of success. A lot of people have it and don't know. We did a whole series on fear of failure and fear of success in December, as people were kind of creating their business plans coming up for 2022. And what strikes me about this is that if you have a fear of success, all of the money mindset, masculine and feminine, if you don't clear that, then the money mindset stuff kind of can't work.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, or am I just making that up? But I feel like the fear of success is kind of like at the root. Just checking in on that.
Yeah, I think it's a very great question. So when I talk to my clients and when I look at them, their financial goals, because I specifically ask them to prepare the project for example, it depending on the client, sometimes 12 months, sometimes 5 years, depending on what they want. And when they prepare project, and I'm trying to see how it is, I don't try to be judgmental, like to how it's possible to achieve, yes, but I also try to be a little bit realistic from looking from where they are now and what they want to achieve, so that sometimes people are holding themselves back and put very small goals, yes. So when I see that the goals are very, very reserved, I would say, yes, then this would trigger me a question about fear of success. Yes, it would trigger me more question why you choose those numbers. Yes, and then I would try to expand their energy, because this is also fear of success would be very similar, because everyone has energetic limits in terms of money. And so everyone, for example, everything what is reflected currently in your bank is, or how many clients you are gaining per month and how much income you generate, it's really your limit. And if you don't expand it, like if you don't project for more, if you don't ask for more, yes. But I'm always going with this story about, you go to restaurant and you when you order food, you know for sure it will be delivered to you. You don't even doubt it. You order the food and you wait for it and it comes to you. The same with money. You go with your financial goal setting. So you need to be crystal confident that you will reach those goals. But in finances, you just don't sit back and wait, but you also do the action. Yes. So this is the difference here. Yes. But from the mindset perspective, you don't doubt. So. And when somebody has fear of success, then usually it comes back to, again, imposter, self-esteem, self-love, or some incident. It happened in the life, somebody where, for example, very often I came across, I'm coming still across, when people think that rich people are evil. They are little sabotaging, like money mindset things, which is reflected. So in short, if I see that financial goals are quite reserved, I might ask why. So from why do you choose those numbers? If I see they are really in realistic, yes, like really, like, 100K months, yes, for the rest of the life, yes, then I'm asking, how do you feel about those numbers? Well, I don't really trust them. Oh, no, then like I'm asking, all right, let's then reproject. Let's a little bit more realistic something, yes, because but that also would show that there is fear of success. Even if you put 100,000, but you don't actually believe that you can gain half of it, it also shows that there is a fear of success. Yes, and what is the reason why you do help? Maybe you are just afraid from the judgments that all your relatives will sit on your neck for the rest of their lives and will ask you from you money, which is very this happened with one of my clients. Yes, she had a fear actually not from the success to generate that money in, but that she will have this money and then all the relatives, all the cousins, brothers and sisters will just expect her to give money to everyone, like give it away, because it happened in her past that everyone was expecting from her. Yes, so then we need to detach those beliefs and to make sure that you just set boundaries right now, nothing will change when you have those 100,000 coming in your bank account. So yeah, I hope this gives some.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way, in terms of if your expectations are too high, then there's a fear of success because you're setting them almost to prove that it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, Gundega, I have a few questions about Cabaret. So for those of you who are new to listening to Confidence Through Cabaret, Cabaret for me is acts that are performed, or entertainment, or artists who are performing in a small venue. So that could be singing, dancing, burlesque, drag, comedy, aerial, contortion, could be all kinds of different things. And you'll see performers like Dita Von Teese, probably the most famous burlesque performer on the planet right now, who would perform in huge theaters. So they would be performing a burlesque act, but it isn't a cabaret because it's not a small kind of place. And so you'll find that singers like Bette Midler will talk about their days when they were performing in little clubs and things. Those are cabarets. So if you were performing cabaret, what kind of act would you perform?
Oh, that's a very, very great question. If I were to perform cabaret, I think I would make myself like, from Brazil, from this Rio de Janeiro, with these hats and this like bikini and with this with these feathers around, like that's probably what I would choose, and then I would go like.
Oh, that's fabulous! That's fabulous. I'm imagining all the colors as well.
Oh yeah, those colors, and because color, I have passion for color therapy as well, and those colors, yeah, it just would give that vibe, and the music, this like, and you are moving your body and just going there, and that's what I would definitely do.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. What one prop would you want to have with you? What would speak to you to have?
Hat.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
The feathers, yeah, like this big one, like, and then I would try to embrace my, feminine side. Would go there, yeah, with those feathers on my head, and
I adore that, because that is expansive, and that's what we're always talking about in Confidence Through Cabaret, is taking up and owning space. And if you've got a huge hat on, you are absolutely holding that space unapologetically. Because if you're going to try and apologize with a massive hat with feathers and colors, and you're going to try and hide, it's not going to work. So I love that. You're fully out there. And Gundega, what is your stage name for your performance?
Sweet Buttercup. And I would have a yellowish. Or juicy, sweet, juicy buttercups.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love that.
That's so much fun. And I talk a lot, because I do a lot of work around imposter syndrome and a lot of work around body confidence, because I believe that if you don't feel good and expansive and unapologetic with your, when you show up, then you don't come across with confidence. And there's a disconnect where people can't build trust with you as easily. They won't necessarily know why, but they'll be kind of like, it just doesn't click with that person. And so that's the work that I primarily do, is around changing those beliefs about, that you're worthy and how you feel, and building that space to expand and to raise your voice and share your message. And for me, there's that imposter syndrome voice that says, no, you can't. And, all of these kind of limitations that we've been talking about that hold us back. But there is also a choice to listen to that voice of sweet buttercup that is fierce and strong and powerful and has a massive hat and is expansive and is, unapologetic. And we can tap into that energy as well. And I know you'll get that with your Reiki healing. You'll fully understand that, tapping into the different energies. But for me, that is a fundamental part. And that's why we're Confidence Through Cabaret, is talking about that ability to tap into that expansive energy anytime that you want to.
Amazing. It's amazing. And I really love what you do, because from the financial perspective, I can say that it's a key as well to fight this imposter, because it will stop you and it will sabotage your finances as well. So it's super important, crucial what you do. It's just amazing, honestly.
Thank you. But I love what you do as well. And this is the business model that we started the whole thing with, is that, it's collaborative. It's not, I have all the answers, come and pay me. It's not that. It's about what do you need in order to build your confidence? And if what we've been talking about in here, in terms of the masculine and feminine energy, finding that balance, and financial coaching speaks to you, then I would encourage you, listeners or watchers, to reach out to Gundega and really, find out a little bit more about the work and how you could potentially work together. So where can people find you, Gundega?
So thank you so much, Heather, for this. Really, thank you so much. And I agree with you about also. So I could say the same about you, as well. That I will sell to my audience, actually, that yes, so that to go to you. So I really appreciate what you shared. So they can find me on Instagram, Gundega Financial Coach, tag name, or on Facebook, Gundega Financial Coach. I have a Facebook group as well. So yeah. That's where you can find me.
Beautiful. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel on Vodcast, then you'll be able to see the banner on the screen that says Gundega Financial Coach. If you are listening on podcast, so that's the audio version, and you'll be able to find this anywhere you get your podcasts on Confidence. Just search Confidence Through Cabaret, you'll be able to find this conversation. Gundega is spelled Gundega, and then financial coach, and that would be all one word if you're searching on socials. You can also, if you're in the Confidence Through Cabaret community, you'll be able to reach out there and connect. If for some reason you can't find Gundega Financial Coach, for whatever the reason is, then you can always reach out to Confidence Through Cabaret or Heather Jean, and I will put you in touch for sure. Gundega, it has been wonderful to chat with you. I mean, just so nourishing to have this conversation, and I so appreciate you being here and sharing with us.
Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you so much for your amazing atmosphere and vibe and amazing questions. And I absolutely love your energy. You have adorable energy. Yes, saying as a Reiki healer or energy healer, I love your energy. It's adorable. Yes, amazing. You are just making this space to be beautiful and amazing. Yes, and I really appreciate you having me here.
Oh, I'm so glad, and I hope we have a conversation again, because I think that there is a lot to this that we underestimate. It's easier said than done. And if you're resonating with this and you're kind of going, I'm doing these things like I have been, like Gundega has been, and it's not having that success, then do reach out, because it's a journey. And very often, I always think about it like, you can join a gym. If you're physically able, how to do squats, you can do them. But if you have a personal coach or a personal trainer, you're going to work harder and you're going to get into it and you're going to get deeper results. It's the same kind of thing when you talk about a coach. And if you're in any doubt, then I would suggest get a coach and you will find out how much further it can take you.
So much agree with everything you say. Amazing words. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for being here. It just leaves me to close with, you will find us on Confidence Through Cabaret on all of the socials. The only exception to that is Twitter. We are at YBYWYS. And on Clubhouse, I am at Heather YBYWYS. And Confidence and Attitudes is the Clubhouse Club. Those 6 letters stand for, as a reminder, it is your body. And it is your world, and it is your stage. Take up space and own it. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much.
Pleasure.